John Bonham, found dead in bed yesterday in London at the home of the group's guitarist, Jimmy Page.
John Bonham, drummer with the British rock group Led Zeppelin since its inception in 1968, was found dead today at the home of a friend in Windsor, England. Bonham was 32.
Forget about what everybody tells you you're supposed to be doing when you're listening to us and enjoy yourself.
I tracked up to Birmingham and saw him, and I was amazed, you know, and suddenly it all started to come together in a very short time. He was very blues orientated, and of course I've been through that as well. And then I played him a lot of other things which I planned to sort of attempt, like Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You and things like that, which, you know, had a totally different approach to the way that it had originally been done by Joan Baez.
Although I had in mind a very powerful drummer, you know, I wasn't ready for John Bonham. I must say he was beyond the realms of anything that I could possibly have imagined, you know. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Without Bonzo, the band wouldn't have meant anything at all. Sure, I mean, he was the emulsifying agent, he was everything, he was the whole core of the thing. He was the guy who stopped it being just another rock band, really. At least in its performance, the writing. I mean, Jimmy's approach was so unique, and is so unique, but I mean, Bonzo's whole delivery was the thing that made it what it is.
In the early days, you know, I had an idea of what I thought was right within those days, and it didn't really matter whether it was going to sort of happen or not within one's mind, because it was so enjoyable to be playing. And one could feel the chemistry was there even from the very first day of a rehearsal, that there was something there that was definitely going to be really good and really enjoyable to be part of.
You're saying that your fans don't necessarily want to whistle the tunes, to hum the tune. They're much more sophisticated than, you know, my generation.
I think so. Not in that sense. I think these days that let's say the public, you know, it's not just say the kids, because we've had sort of all sorts of people at concerts, you know. I think that they're coming to listen to what you're playing and not just to look at you and see what you are. I mean, I remember when let's go back a few years, when I first went to see the Beatles, because we've mentioned them a few times, it was to look at them, you know. It wasn't, you didn't really bother what you were listening to.
In our position, we've spent years and years on the road, sort of playing in little church halls and being beaten up and bricks thrown through the van windows and everything. And to have money at last is just another figure in my mind of mass acceptance, which is what we all work for.
Headley Grange is run down and said to have been haunted. A black Labrador retriever seen roaming the grounds becomes the inspiration for their song Black Dog. Page elaborates on the living arrangement in a 2010 interview. The reason we went there in the first place was to live in a situation where you're writing and really living the music. It was all of us really concentrating in a concentrated environment, and the essence of what happened there manifested itself across 3 albums. Led Zeppelin 4 is released in November 1971, becoming one of the most highly anticipated rock albums of all time. Bonham died after a night of heavy drinking. The band members are devastated by the loss of their friend and bandmate, and they decide that they cannot continue without him. In a statement released to the press on December 4th, 1980, the remaining members of Led Zeppelin announce they will not continue without John Bonham. We wish it to be known that the loss of our dear friend and the deep respect we have for his family, together with a sense of undivided harmony felt by ourselves and our manager, have led us to decide that we could not continue as we were. The announcement marked the end of one of the most successful and influential rock bands of all time. Led Zeppelin